Well, good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good, thank you. Anything interesting in the paper? You'll find out after. That was a beautiful thing about radio. You could read the paper and just listen. You didn't have to watch anything. So if you feel free to close your eyes and don't watch us, because we all have faces for radio, not for TV. I'm just kidding. So welcome to the last show of our 22nd year, and what an odd year it was. Back in September when I picked these two shows, I had no idea what the world would be like in May of 2021. It seemed like a far-off, distant place, but I was sure that we would all need a good laugh and we would need some comedy. So tonight, I picked two comedies for your listening pleasure, and we've had so much fun rehearsing them, truly, and we're going to have a lot of fun performing them tonight for you. So we invite you to laugh a lot. Please, laugh a lot. So a little later, the second show will be an episode from Life with Luigi. But first, probably the most famous, successful, funny radio show of all time, Fibber, McGee, and Molly. This show ran for 24 years, from 1935 to 1959 in some shape or form. It starred real-life couple Jim and Marion Jordan, who were from Peoria, Illinois, old vaudevillians, as Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The program focused on everyday life and McGee's pursuit of various schemes, all to the exasperation of Molly, his good-natured wife. The success of the show was also due in part to the very clever writing, which you'll see, and the various characters who often visited the McGees. There was the blustery Mayor Latrivia, the timid husband Wallace Wimple, and the snooty old battle axe Abigail Uppington. Another cast member that people don't always think of as a cast member, but I do, is of course the McGee's overstuffed closet. There was always a closet gag, which was a character in and of itself. So you'll hear all of that tonight, I'm pleased to say. The episode we're doing tonight was originally broadcast April 7th, 1942 during World War II, when the show often highlighted public service issues like our episode tonight, entitled Scrap Drive. So please sit back, relax, tune your dial to the Riverside Township Radio Players Network as we take you to 79 Wistful Vista for Fibber, McGee, and Molly. Here's Harlow Wilcox.
The Johnson's Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber, McGee, and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with songs by the Kingsmen and music by Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with Great Day. Now, I know it's human nature to put things off, but what about that job of cleaning and polishing your car? Have you bought your can of Johnson's Car New yet? Have you had the thrill of seeing a new car pop right up before your eyes as if you'd rubbed Aladdin's lamp? Oh, maybe that sounds a little exaggerated, but I know you're going to be in for a surprise the first time you use Car New. It's so easy to use, for one thing, because it cleans and polishes in one application, does two jobs at the same time. Well, Car New is a liquid. You massage it gently over the finish, and when it dries to a powder, you wipe it off. And there stands your car with its almost forgotten showroom shine. Now, if you want to protect that shine for a longer time and save on your car washings, you add a coat of wax. But first, do that double job of cleaning and polishing with Johnson's Car New, spelled C-A-R-N-U. It's the easy, labor-saving way to keep up the finish of your car. They say a well-groomed woman gives her tresses 100 strokes with a hairbrush every night before retiring. It must work, too. because McGee's horse Lillian is simply radiating charm and beauty these days. And here in the garage, giving their handsome hay burner the brush off in a nice way, we find Fibber McGee and Molly.
Oh, my, doesn't her coat shine beautifully, McGee?
It oughta. I got a Charlie horse in my arm from Curringer. Charlie, let me introduce you to Lillian. Lillian, this is Charlie. You two horses ought to know each other.
Oh, isn't she sweet? Look at her wag her tail, McGee. She's happy.
In horses, Mrs. McGee, that ain't happiness, that's flies. Now hold still, you big corn cruncher. Hey, Molly, haven't we curried her long enough?
Oh, I think so. And she looks lovely, too. Though a little fat, I'd say.
Yep, she's hippie but happy. Hand me a blanket, will you? There's kind of a draft blowing through here.
You know, I don't think this blanket is big enough, McGee. Her legs must get awfully cold.
Well, what do you think we ought to do? She'd look awfully silly in long underwear.
Well, she does need a bigger blanket, though.
Ah.
Yes, mother's little baby gets cold, doesn't she? Would you?
Quit talking baby talk to her, Molly. Next thing you know, she'll be wanting to sit in my lap and listen to the Three Bears.
McGee's, where are you?
Who's that?
Oh, it's Mrs. Uppington, I think.
Ah, yes, I should have recognized that sweet voice. I hear it in my dreams every time I eat too much lobster salad.
Oh, now listen, she isn't so bad, McGee. She's just afflicted with too much money.
Old Dr. McGee could cure that affliction with one rousing game of poker. What do you say we have the old...
Yoo-hoo, Mrs. McGee. Are you there?
Oh, out here in the garage, Abigail. Now be nice, dearie.
Okay, I'll kiss her hand and curtsy. And if the old...
Oh, hello there, Abigail.
Oh, how do you do, Mrs. McGee? Hello, Mr. McGee.
Hi, Uppy. Get away from me, you big ox. I haven't got any sugar.
Please, Mr. McGee. I did not come
Oh,
here.
he didn't mean you, Abigail. He was talking to Lillian.
Oh, yes.
Yes, have you met Lillian, Uppy? Lillian, dear, this is Mrs. Abigail Uppington, the big splash in the finger bowl set. Uppy, shake hands with... I'd like to have you meet our adopted daughter, Lillian.
Oh, Lillian and I have met, Mr. McGee, and I think she's very, very charming. Oh, I love horses. In fact, I was quite the horsewoman in my day. They used to say I rode like a centaur.
Like a what?
A centaur. That's the mythological figure, Mr. McGee, half man, half horse.
Oh, really? Well, which half were you?
McGee! Oh, now look, Abigail. Won't you come into the house for a cup of tea?
Oh, thank you, my dear, but no, I just stopped by to ask you a favor on behalf of the Wistful Vista Reclamation Committee, of which I am chairwoman.
Ah, Uppy, you're such a confirmed chairwoman. It's a wonder you weren't born with 4 legs.
Thank you, Mr. McGee.
What is the Reclamation Committee, Abigail, and what are they going to wreck?
Oh, well, we are putting on a campaign, Mrs. McGee, asking citizens to look through their homes for any material which might be useful to the government in this emergency.
Oh.
Old metal, paper, rags, all that sort of thing. Oh, here's a folder about it.
Okay, Uppy, but I don't think we've got much of that kind of stuff.
McGee, how about the hall closet?
You think there might be something in there?
Oh, I have a sneaking suspicion we ought to find an ounce or two there that we might spare. What do we do with it, Abigail?
Oh, just pile it up outside. I shall have our truck call for it at 4 o'clock.
Well, we'll get at it right away, Uppy. We're about through with Lillian anyway.
I must say, you keep her looking very well.
Oh, I tell you, we curry and brush her for 2 hours every day, Abigail. See how her coat shines?
Oh, yes. there is nothing like it, Mrs. McGee. Personally, I brush my hair at least an hour a day.
Well, some horses need more care than others, Uppy.
Now, please, Mr. McGee, I am not... Well, goodbye, Mrs. McGee.
Did I say something wrong?
Oh, no. You just called her a horse is all. Nothing to be offended about.
She should be offended by that. It's Lillian who ought to be hurt. Hey, Lillian. Aw, does Daddy's widow baby think that nasty old woman is...
McGee!
Huh? Well, let's get at that closet, Molly.
You know, this is a very interesting government folder Abigail gave us, McGee.
Yeah?
Listen, it says in our attics, cellars, backyards, and basements are waste materials that can help make ships, tanks, guns, and ammunition. Salvage now for victory. Well, come on, McGee, let's get busy.
Okay.
Oh, I'll be glad to get that closet cleaned out.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Open her up.
No. You open it.
No. You open it. I opened it last time.
Yeah, but you can jump out of the way quicker than I can.
Well, okay. Here goes.
Well.
There, you see? No cause to be alarmed. Dad rat it. Just look at that, will you? Well, there ought to be plenty of stuff in here for the government.
Yes, very. Oh, there's an old aluminum coffee pot. Well, we can give that to the government.
But that's what I use for my camping trips.
Well, tap a tree and drink maple syrup. This goes to Uncle Sam. Aluminum is a very important thing.
We better make 3 piles of this stuff we're saving for the government. Rubber in one, metal in another, and paper. Hey,
What?
look! There's my old ukulele.
Say, I never knew you had a ukulele.
Ah, sure you did. Remember, before we were married, how we used to sit in the swing out in your front lawn and I'd play the uke and sing to you? Stuff like Red Wing and Pretty Baby. And there's Egypt in your dreamy eyes. What's the matter? What you looking at me like that for?
McGee, give me that ukulele.
Okay, here, but it needs to be tuned up. Hey, what's the idea? You're busting it up, Molly. Haven't you got any sentiment?
Not for this.
Huh?
Well, the only swing on the front lawn in our neighborhood belonged to that red-headed Dixon girl down the street, and that wasn't Egypt in her dreamy eyes. That was mascara. The hussy.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, well, I never liked her very much anyway.
Honest?
Nah, her swing squeaked. Hey, here's your old portable sewing machine, Molly. That's good for 30 pounds of metal.
Oh, and here's a pile of old magazines.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the Police Gazette.
Oh, I'll take those, Molly. I was planning on joining the police force once.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Well, hello there, folks. What goes on?
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Harlow. We're cleaning out the hall closet. We're sorting out some of the things the government can salvage.
You want to pitch in and see what you can find, Mr. Wilcox? We got everything here but the kitchen. McGee! There it is.
What?
The kitchen sink. Over in the corner.
Well, darned if it ain't. That's another 20 pounds of iron.
Well, I'll just go away quietly and leave you two to your memories and old umbrellas. I wouldn't want to... Oh, look at this.
What are you mooning over that for? It's just an old tin can.
Yes, but an old tin can of what? Johnson's self-polishing glow coat.
But it's empty.
That's what I love about it. This empty can means that Molly has been spared hours and hours of housework.
Oh, for crying.
Oh, it means that her kitchen linoleum has been tenderly cared for, that its beauty and luster have been preserved.
Yes, but an empty can must have been around for years.
Swell! The longer you've been using it, the better I like it. It just goes to show that once a housewife has tried Johnson's Glow Coat, she keeps on because it's so easy to use, saves so much time and effort, and conserves your energy and your property.
Hand me my hat, Molly.
Where you going, dearie?
No place. I just want to take it off to Mr. Wilcox. There's a guy who can really dramatize a tin can. Break his commercial little heart over a pile of junk. Boy, what a performance he could put on at the city dump.
You think not? Meet me there tomorrow at 2:30.
I don't believe I've ever known another man who was quite so sold on his job, McGee.
Me either. Ever notice that little bare spot on the back of his head?
Is he getting bald?
No. His hair is just worn off there. He uses a can of Glow Coat for a pillow. Well, come on, let's get busy. We ain't made a dent in this stuff yet. Hey, where are you going, Molly?
Well, I'm gonna put on an old house dress. This stuff is too dusty to handle. Now, keep busy, dearie, and I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. Boy, what a family can accumulate in a few years. This? What's this? Ashtray from the Sherman Hotel in Chicago. So that's where I stayed during that Legion convention. Come in, come in, come in, come in.
Hi, mister.
Huh? Oh, hi, little girl. Come back later. I'm busy.
What you doing,
I'm cleaning out the closet, sis, and at the same time seeing what I can dig up that might be useful to Uncle Sam.
Oh. Hey, is Uncle Sam really our uncle, mister? Is he? Is he?
Is he? He certainly is, sis. And nobody ever had a better uncle. Like most relatives, he annoys us now and then. We squawk and complain, but it don't mean anything. When we get in a jam, he's always there to back us up. When he gets in a mess, we rally around. He's the only rich uncle in the world that his whole family hopes he'll live forever. Now, get out of here, sis. I'm busy.
Oh, looky, mister. Look what I found. Ice skates.
Where? Oh, them. They used to be my ice skates, sis.
Can I have them, mister? Can I please?
Sis, you'd be welcome to them except for 3 reasons. They won't fit you, and they're so rusty they ain't good for skating anymore. And in the 3rd place, Uncle Sam needs them more than you do. I'm sorry.
Okay, mister. There's another reason, too.
What's that? I said, what's that?
What's what?
The 4th reason you don't want these skates.
That's it. I don't want them.
Then why'd you ask for them?
Just to see if you'd give them to me. I'd rather wait and have a good pair anyway.
What do you mean, a good pair? These are the most expensive pair I ever won selling Larkin's products door to door.
Well, I bet you they can't be much good, I'll bet you. My daddy said so.
Your daddy didn't even know I ever had a pair of skates.
Well, he must have. He said they were no good.
I don't... Now, let me get this straight, sis. What was your immediate paternal forebear's dumb comment regarding these Mill Pond moccasins?
Say that again.
I says, what did your old man say?
He said McGee's were the cheapest skates he ever saw. So long, mister.
The Kingsman and the Village Blacksmith.
Well, the truck is almost loaded, Molly. How much more stuff we got?
Well, not much. Just the old dress form and your old golf clubs and the magazines and some little stuff.
Hey, I wonder if I can still use those golf clubs.
What was your score the last time you played?
Well, I guess I don't need them anymore. Here's your dress form, Molly.
Thank you, dearie.
Whew. Boy, what a load of junk. The truck is way down on its springs now. Hey, where'd that driver go?
Oh, he's out in the garage talking to Lillian.
Wonder he wouldn't stick around and lend a hand. Here's the magazines.
Oh, hey, what's this thing, McGee?
Huh? That's my old steel helmet from the last war. I bet the government will be glad to get that.
Well, I don't know, McGee. This helmet's got an awful dent on the top of it.
I'll say it has. That helmet saved my life in the last war.
Oh, you get hit by a bullet?
No, bumped into a stump. I was crawling out of a... Ooh! Hey, look who's coming. Latrivia.
Oh, well, let's not get into one of those silly arguments with him, will ya?
Oh, come on, let's do it. Do him good. Hi, Latrivia.
Hello, McGee. Good day, Mrs. McGee. What are you doing up in that truck?
Oh, we're just loading some junk into it, Mr. Mayor. We just cleaned out the closet.
Well, why doesn't McGee get up in that truck and let you hand him the things?
You mind your business, Latrivia. Molly's the kind of woman I always like to look up to. Here, Molly, catch.
Oh, can I help?
Oh, no, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're nearly through now.
Well, very well. I just came by to ask you if you subscribe to Liberty Magazine.
Oh, yes, we do, Mr. Mayor. But if you're working your way through college, we'll be glad to...
No, I am not working my way through college, Mrs. McGee. I merely wish to tell you that in tomorrow's issue of Liberty, there will be a 4-page article about you and Mr. McGee.
Honest, Latrivia?
As honest as it could be, I suppose, considering it's a family magazine.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll be looking for it. And I might have known you weren't working your way through college.
Well, as a matter of fact, Mrs. McGee, I did work my way through college.
Interfere with your college work any, Latriv?
No, not a bit. In fact, I was particularly active in the Glee Club.
Oh, well, here we go again. So you belonged to a glee club, did you, Mr. Mayor? They must have been fun.
Oh, it was. We had some splendid singers.
I suppose they sang on account of being so gleeful.
No, because they belong to the Glee Club. A Glee Club is formed for the purpose of group singing.
Oh, I always sing when I'm happy, too, but I don't have to belong to a club to do it, Mr. Mayor.
I didn't either, Mrs. McGee. I joined the Glee Club because I liked to sing, but a Glee Club is not necessarily gleeful.
You mean they were unhappy?
Why should they be unhappy?
Oh, why shouldn't they be?
Well, they should be. I mean, no, they shouldn't be. What has their happiness got to do with it?
Now, that's a fine attitude, Latrivia, not to care whether your own club is happy or not. Why, when I went to high school...
I am merely trying to explain that the term Glee Club has nothing to do with glee. Is that clear?
Oh, I see what you mean. It's like if you belong to the Elks, you don't necessarily have to give all your friends one of your front teeth.
Well, that's exactly what no. What I'm trying to say is that a college glee club is formed of people who like to sing.
Certainly. You see, Molly, if he ain't full of glee, they won't take you in because...
Whether or not they are full of glee does not matter. All that matters is whether or not you can sing.
Well, it's the same thing. You can't sing unless you're gleeful.
How about Lawrence Tippett, Molly? He has to sing concerts whether he's gleeful or not.
Yeah, but how much does he get?
Oh, up in the thousands, I'd guess.
And he's unhappy about that?
I didn't say he was unhappy.
But you said distinctly that Mr. Tippett wasn't happy when he sang, and I
But
only
you
said...
said he had to be gleeful.
No, McGee, I never said he had to...
Well, I'll just leave you two good people to argue it out for yourselves. And don't forget the Liberty article. Good day.
So long, Trivia.
Goodbye, Mr. Mayor. Now, look here, McGee. You said that Lawrence Tippett was unhappy about receiving thousands of dollars of performance.
I never,
and
no such thing. I never said that. I only...
You did too. You
No,
said that.
I said that the...
Yes, you did.
Hey.
You.
What are we arguing about? Latrivia's gone.
Oh, heavenly days, caught on our own hook. Well, let's get the rest of the stuff loaded, McGee.
Okay. There. Is this all the stuff, Molly? Any more in the closet?
No, it's all out here, McGee. The closet's as empty as a threat to Joe Lewis's title.
Okay.
But Uncle Dennis said he was going to...
Oh, Uncle Dennis, Uncle Dennis, Uncle Dennis. I get tired of hearing about that guy. When's he gonna move out?
Oh, now listen, don't talk that way about Uncle Dennis. He's never done anything to you.
Uh-huh. Except he eats more than Lillian and he sleeps more than Rip Van Winkle. He's a regular parachute.
No, you mean parasite, dearie. A parachute is a big thing that gets full of air and lets you down easy.
That's what I said. Uncle Dennis is a regular parachute. Oh, hi, Wimple.
Oh, hello, Mr. McGee. Hello, Mrs. McGee.
Hello, Mr. Wimple. We'll be through in just a minute. Now, hand me the last little pile of things, McGee.
Here you are.
Oh, there now, that's all. Help me down, dearie.
Okay, grab my hand. That's it.
Oh, my goodness. What on earth are you folks doing?
Oh, we're just cleaning out the hall closet, Mr. Wimple. We're sending a lot of old metal and rubber and paper to the government.
Oh, that's splendid, Mrs. McGee. I went down this morning and tried to join the Marines. Sweetie Face went with me to give her consent.
Did they take you, Wimp?
No. They said my eyes were too weak and I was anemic and underweight and older age and I wasn't tall enough.
Oh, well, that's too bad, Mr. Wimple.
No, it turned out all right. They accepted Sweetie Face.
You mean Sweetie Face is in the Marines now, Wimp?
Just as an instructor, Mr. McGee. She's gonna teach them how to box and wrestle and do jujitsu. She demonstrated to them how to disarm an opponent, starting with a blow on the neck and knocking their teeth out.
Heavenly days, that must have been impressive.
Ooh, indeed it was. By the way, can you recommend a good dentist?
Go see Doc Cottom, Wimp. Tell him I sent you. So, Sweetie Face used you as an example of how to treat an enemy, eh?
Oh, she certainly did, Mr. McGee. And then the recruiting officer asked Sweetie Face if she knew anything about bayonet fighting.
Oh, and what did she say?
I don't know, Mrs. McGee. I jumped out the window. Oh, but look at me, standing here, gossiping, and you're so busy.
Nah, we're all finished, Wimp. Come on in and take a look at the closet now. It's a sight for sore housekeepers. We'll show you the closet, and then maybe Molly can make us a cup of coffee.
Certainly, boys. But McGee, I was telling you that Uncle Dennis was
Skip Uncle Dennis. Come on in, Wimp.
My, this is such a peaceful house. I wish I lived here. Or someplace.
Oh, well, now listen, anytime you want to come for a couple of weeks and heal up, Mr. Wimple, we'll be glad to have you.
Sure we will. Here, take a look at this closet, Wimp. I'm proud of it.
But McGee, I told you, Uncle Dennis.
I want Wimple to see the closet. Now look, Wimp. Well, what in the...
Well, I'm trying to tell you, McGee, I've been trying to tell you all the time. When Uncle Dennis saw that bare closet, he moved all his stuff in there.
Well, we haven't all got hall closets like the McGees, but if you're looking for ways in which you can do something right now to help your country, listen carefully. You can turn this spring house cleaning into direct aid for all-out production. Be very careful salvaging from your attic and basement all discarded articles made with rubber or metal, as well as old rags and scrap paper. Rubber and scrap metal are most important. 29 pounds of old rubber will make a life raft for a Navy plane. 12 pounds of scrap metal is half the steel needed for a small machine gun. Well, that's important, isn't it? Sort out all discarded tools, old tire chains, batteries, pieces of pipe, anything made of metal that you can't use. Sort out old rubber tires, torn boots or overshoes, hot water bottles or bath mats. Sort out old clothing, rags of all kinds. Waste paper and cartons. Send them to your local junk collector or give them to a charitable organization that's collecting such material. Remember, rubber and scrap metal are most important right now. Your government is asking for help. Make this spring house cleaning your special contribution to victory.
Well, I'm glad the job's done. You certainly worked hard, McGee. I'll say that for you.
I'll say that for me, too.
You look tired, dearie.
Yeah.
Say, why don't you go down to the Elks Gymnasium and get yourself a massage?
I can't, Molly. The masseur joined the Army.
He did?
Yes.
Well, I thought he was way over age.
Well, he is, but I guess the government wants any old rubber it can get.
Oh.
Huh?
I said, oh.
Oh. Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program has come to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company. And now for tonight's cast. This episode of Fibber, McGee, and Molly was originally broadcasted on April 7th, 1942, but tonight was performed by Tom Duggan as Wallace Wimple, Jay Summerfield played Mayor Latrivia. And have you ever noticed Molly always left the room when Teenie came knocking on the McGee's door? That's because Marion Jordan played the part as well. And tonight she was performed by Ellie Babka. Abigail Uppington, or Uppy as Fibber called her, was played by Kathy Juarez. Our most amazing sound effects and music, as well as our closet, was expertly created by Marty McNulty. And finally, tonight, our stars of Molly McGee and Fibber McGee were played by Donna Amesmeyer and Brad Zurro, respectively. And I was your announcer, Harlow Wilcox. We'll pause now for station identification and a quick microphone sanitation. And if anyone would like, we'll be offering complimentary car polishing with Johnson's Car New. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with an episode of Life with Luigi. This is the Riverside Township Radio Players Network.